Beer theme for the day. Headed to Pete's Beer Barn where he makes Pete's Barn beer. Good stuff, as we already know. Cool place. Beer Barn. Pete,
What is?
holy cow. All right, next level stuff, obviously. But give us a skinny.
What we got here is the HLT,
HLT.
which is a hot liquor tank. And all it is water, and there's a coil on the inside of it.
Okay, that's cool.
And that's HLT is set at 150. And what happens is I've got the water circulating in here, and then in the mash tunnel, which is here,
Wow.
that's where the grains of. I ground the grains this morning and put 9.5 gallons of water in there.
Okay, okay, so you so you had grains and you put it in like a coffee grinder kind of.
Yeah, that grinder right over there.
Okay, so you ground it up.
I ground it up
And then you just poured the ground up grains into the water.
into the water.
Okay.
And what this does, to heat this up, this will circulate, comes out of here, through here, and then through that coil.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a HERM system, which whatever HERM stands for, it stands for.
Okay, so
indirect heating.
so grain and water leaves here, goes through the coil, which is
Just
also sitting in water.
Yeah, just the water does. The grain stays in here.
Okay.
There's a grain bed in here. All I'm doing is stirring the grains up to get a better flow rate. That way I get a better efficiency.
What dictates the alcohol level? I think that's the question everybody.
It's your grains, how much grains the water you use dictates, plus the yeast.
And he was saying, Guinness is because we're always using that as a reference.
Right.
And what I didn't know is, I always say Guinness is a stout, which it is, but it's actually technically a dry stout.
Okay.
Well, have you ever heard that term?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So that means that it's basically very smooth, but the dry version means less sweet.
Less
exactly.
sweet. Just like your wines.
Right. That's why I think dry stout is the perfect.
Yeah. Now
thing
what
for me.
that has a lot to do with your yeast.
This is some beautiful stuff, by the way. I mean, just, oh my God. I'm sure all that's really cheap.
Yeah. Well, if you remember the other day when we looked at it.
Yeah.
See my temperature 150, 147.
Mm-hmm.
And on my gauge, it says 146. Okay, so that's not bad.
Bourbon barrel. Okay. And so
Yeah.
you bought that cask
Correct.
just for this
Correct.
reason. And it's a one use in theory.
That was used one time in Colorado whiskey, and I'll use that barrel 2 or 3 times. And the only reason why I got it wrapped in plastic right now is to keep the moisture.
Yeah.
And classified as a bourbon.
And I learned something the other day, and it was that I always, in my mind, okay, so bourbon originally came from Bourbon County, Kentucky.
Correct.
And so then all of a sudden there was Tennessee whiskey, okay,
Correct.
because like Jack Daniels and maybe Jack Daniels, and I don't know who else.
George Dickel.
Yeah.
And
So
much more.
So I always, in my mind, connected those dots to say the Bourbon County folks probably put their foot down and said, no, we don't want Jack Daniels and stuff made in Tennessee named bourbon. That was me guessing that. Actually, I was wrong. What I read the other day is that actually Jack Daniels, I think, petitioned to be called Tennessee whiskey specifically. Right. So they wanted that name.
Yeah.
They didn't, more than they wanted to be called bourbon, which is weird. But I mean, each his own. And now, of course, but I'll say this, there's been more songs about Tennessee whiskey than there has been about bourbon. So maybe they were onto something.
Yeah.
Okay, wort going in. Oh, yeah.
And what it's doing is gravity feeding off of the hot liquor tank, which is the center tank.
Right, and that was a mixture of water and grains.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're draining that off slowly into here.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, we could call wort basically the precursor to beer.
Correct.
Okay.
It's unfermented beer.
Unfermented beer. What would it taste like if you tasted that?
Sugar water.
Yeah. All right, so history of beer according to Chuck and Beer Pete.
Yeah, that's from what I understand is somebody had grains that they left somewhere in a jug back in who knows when.
Rainwater,
BC.
barrel, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It was in the BCs.
Yeah.
So I guess somebody left grains in a barrel and grain. They decided to boil it, and it turned into beer.
You know, the funny thing is, you would think that if I saw that, I would be grossed out. I'd be like, man, it's brown water. I'm not going to drink it.
Yeah. And the same token, who's the first person to eat oysters?
Right. You got Jeremy here with us now.
Of course.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Got these manly glasses, trying to stay under control. Beer. Pete's offered massive growlers for us to drink out of, so we can have to crawl home, but we're not going to do it. Okay, so it almost seems like we're talking about gravity, and Pete's over here measuring gravity, which is basically the amount of sugar. The sugar is what's going to turn into alcohol. So what I don't get is it almost seems like you wouldn't want to dilute it, because why not get more bang for the buck and just leave the alcohol high? So what? And I suppose it's taste, which is what you started saying.
Taste.
Okay. So too much alcohol is going to make the beer taste too strong. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
It won't give it the right taste, because if you take I like to taste the beer, and it's part of
I do too.
Y'all do.
Yeah.
That's why we do. That's why we
Look
drink.
at Jeremy back there grinning like a jackass eating briars.
But if you have too much alcohol, then all you're going to do is taste alcohol, like a barley wine or something like that.
Everclear or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be that bad.
But you know, a lot of really good beers that I've had that even are at craft breweries and stuff might be bumping up close to 10%, and they're still good. I guess if you get over 10, maybe it gets extreme.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like high alcohol beer.
This smells great right now, by the way. I mean, it really, really does.
That's all hops down there. I've got to break down into 1 ounce bags.
Wow. And this you order like from brewery happy hour or whatever?
This right here, these hops I ordered from More Beer. These hops down here, I actually buy them from Hops Direct. They grow them. And there are different kinds of hops and all that kind of stuff. I got to break them down into 1 ounce bags. I just haven't yet. Once beer is made, that's like this stuff. Once it comes out of the boil kettle, and I put it in that fermenter, once I get it out, you have it all sealed up. It will never see air again until you drink it. Right? Because air is the worst. CO2 or air, oxygen is the worst thing for beer. And that's why we use CO2 to pressurize, carbonate, and all that stuff. So heat up the water to where I'm done cleaning at the end of the brew day. It's about 4.5, 5 hours.
That's 5 gallon.
That's the 5 gallon batch.
Yeah.
That's the one that's in that olive one.
Yeah.
And then this thing will take me approximately 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours, to by the time I start the grains, hot water, and get done cleaning.
Because you said cleaning is kind of the key.
Cleaning is where you've got to pay attention. And all that is sugar water. That's where it's a real low.
But we're not doing anything with that.
I'm throwing it out.
Throwing it out. Yeah. What would that taste like? Shit.
Probably taste it. I don't
No,
know.
I'm good.
Try it.
No.
You asked the question, try it.
No, I'm kind of.
I was thinking it probably tastes like the ones up in the bourbon trail. Green.
Tastes like oatmeal, sort of.
Okay, that's
I mean, really, that's what it tastes like.
okay.
Sort of like really bland oatmeal.
That's all the sugar.
Chicken feed.
Chicken feed.
Chicken feed.
Keep it from boil overs.
So it's floating protein.
At least that's what I'm told this is. That's all
Okay.
it is foam. Now all I'm going to do is take a little bit off, and then as it starts getting closer to boil, it'll have more, and I'll scoop a lot more of it off.
Okay.
But that keeps it from helps it from boiling over.
Okay.
Because if it boils over, then you have a big sticky mess.
The this hops looks like gerbil food.
It is. It's not, but it's.
But this is technically the part that I don't like the taste of, but you have to have it, right?
This gives it bitterness. Your first hops addition is the bitterness at 60, which is a 60 minutes.
So can you make like the kind of beer that I like? Would it be all barley and no hops, or do you have to have hops? As far
You got to have some hops to offset the sweetness of it.
Okay.
So
It's just so on a beer, a darker Dunkel or something like that, there would be less of this and more barley. Is that safe
no?
to say?
It'd be just less of this.
Okay.
It'd be a different time
Same
frame.
barley, less hops.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am adding hops. I put in the hops spider. I think they call it a hop spider.
Okay.
And all I'm doing is adding my hops there. All it's doing is containing the hops so it doesn't get all over the place, but it still gets the flavor and the.
And you're going to boil it for about an hour?
I'm going to boil it for an hour.
Look at the master chef here getting this done.
Oh, yeah.
This is really the key to it right here. This is what makes all the difference. Yeah.
All right.
And again, if this boiled over, that's when you hate life.
Yep. And as soon as I.
Oh yeah. My goodness. Smells good.
Oh, it smells great.
That's cool. It's funny that doing this is technical enough that it has to be a sober activity while you're brewing something to make you anything but sober.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be. It just.
Well, no,
I don't
I think you would
function
have to be. I would.
No.
Oh, no?
Nah.
All right, well, let's go the other route with it.
No.
No? All right.
Because I like this style of beer. If it was something I didn't like, sure.
Maybe, yeah. I got you. So this is the aerate as much as you possibly can.
Correct.
So we're trying to get oxygen into the yeast, basically, so that it can start
Into the beers for the yeast to eat,
Yeah.
the sugars,
and start fermenting.
they do their thing.
And so you would say, is this the last step where oxygen is still our
Yep.
friend?
Yep.
And then after that, we don't like oxygen.
Once I put the lid on this, we don't want any more air.
No more air.
They work pretty damn good.
Yeah, those do, yeah.
Mom was telling me about, so I was like, man, that worked good.
For me.
Yeah, that's the way my neighbor, he works for Air Gas.
Same way.
And, well, he's just, I mean, he comes up there and drinks, so.
Don't look as tasty anymore. That looks much better. It's like a big old vat of Kool-Aid.
It's like something Homer Simpson would have.
Yeah. Beer. Now, why are you spraying it? Like, what does that
That's
do?
sanitizer.
Okay.
All I'm
So you
doing is
sanitize the yeast packet,
sanitize yeast pack.
huh?
And I'm
And sprinkle yeast in. Now, is there a different like
Yep.
flavor or type or?
Yep. This is a
Okay.
California Commons
Okay.
lager yeast that I'm using
Okay.
for this. Since this is a California Commons,
Okay, but is that adding flavor?
it's going to give it a different flavor. Yes.
But so okay, so the flavor's coming not only from the barley and hops, but also the yeast.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's different. The difference between hops, or not hops, but yeast. A lager yeast feeds off the bottom
Okay.
at a cooler temperature.
Okay.
It feeds off the bottom, where a ale feeds off the top at a warmer temperature.
You said this the other day, and that
Yeah.
confused the hell out of me. But yeah.
Yeah, it's all I'm doing now is sealing this thing up.
Because it's going to build pressure now, right?
It'll hopefully tomorrow, well, I know tomorrow afternoon when I get home from work, this will be sitting about 12, 14 PSI level.
Okay. And that, what is that, just water and alcohol or something?
No, that's sanitizer.
Okay. So is the idea being that if you if you brought bacteria into the mix, that it would grow. I mean, it's
Correct.
or algae or anything else.
Yeah, any off flavors,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it'll get into your beer and it'll screw the taste of your beer up.
Yeah.
Will it ruin it? I don't know. Yeah. Do people like it that way? Yeah.
But like we said, probably how all this began, it was probably some freaking accident like that, and they probably thought it was corrupt.
Yeah.
And then they tasted it, and they're like, wait just a damn minute.
Well, they didn't know what it was up. I mean, there's still breweries in Germany that open ferment. And they get it wild. There's yeast everywhere. So the wild yeast that's there that they're using has been in their building forever, and all their beer tastes the same. I know they were talking about on that homebrew happy hour one day that they went in 50 years ago and put a new roof on it, stripped the old roof off, I mean the whole roof off, rebuild it, and it took them another 15, 20 years to get the beer to back to where it was because of all the wild yeast and stuff living in the woods.
It's like old burger places taking their grill grease with them when they build it.
That's it. Exactly. Same thing.
But
Yeast or
and
ales.
and I know we've said this about 4 times, but you'll cold crash it in like 3 days.
No, it'll ferment. This should ferment in 3 to 4 days. I'll cold crash it. 2 weeks from now, I'll be kegging it. But this is what I run my glycol through.
Now, what is the glycol do?
Glycol will cold crash it.
Okay. All right, so
Since I don't.
so you're just getting it ready to cold crash. It won't be cold crash again for a few days.
Yeah, well, not until it's done fermenting. I'll just set everything up. That way I don't ever have to open
Right,
this up
right.
again.
All right, so you dropped a Bluetooth sensor in it, and this is the, what do we call this again?
Fermenter.
Fermenter. And so it's floating in there, and it's giving you your gravity reading Bluetooth. Is this how they did it way back in like the 1800s and so
Sure.
forth? Yeah.
Sure they do. Of course.
Yeah. That's killer. Clean up. Take some time, but it's not terrible.
I enjoy doing that.